Hi guys, it's Surya and it's also Sunday, which means it's time for my tutorial. And today I will be teaching the 2x2. Now the 2x2 is just like the 3x3 except it's without centers or edges. So it's just corners really. Now if you don't know how to solve the 2x2 at all, that's fine. Now I just recommend that you'd watch the whole video and practice while you're doing it. But if you're here for like a specific part of it, like the last layer, then I've given an index right after this and you can just fast forward to that part. Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the thing about the first layer is well, it's kind of, you could say it's easy because there's only 4 pieces to put, and but they do need to be put in the right place as well, just like for the 3x3. If you haven't watched my video on the 3x3 and you want to know about how to solve it, the link is in the description. So yeah, there's only 4 pieces to put, but it's kind of a bit trickier because unlike the 3x3, there's no center for the 2x2. So you can actually form the white side like anywhere, unlike the 3x3, where you can only form the white side where the white center is. But this doesn't really have any centers, so you can just form it on any side. So first we just pick any corner that seems to be in a good place. So let's just take this one. So we can just consider this the white side, and we can just keep our finger over here so that we don't like lose track of which side was white, because there's other white pieces and we can just get confused. So yeah, now we just need to find another white piece, which is either white and blue or white and red, just to match up with it. One piece going there and one piece going over here. Now this piece is a white and blue, which means it needs to go right there, with the white being here. Now the white and blue cannot go here because this would technically be the blue side once you form this as the white side. Okay, so now this piece needs to go there. First we can just go ahead and move it there, and we know it's in the right place if they match like this. Now if it was over here, then it wouldn't match. It would go like this, right? So that would mean that it's not in the right place, and it should be over here. Okay, so you can just keep it like this. Now I'll explain how to keep the pieces here as well. So now this piece is a white and a red, right? It's a white, red and green, and that goes over here because this is where white and red intersect, and it's the only place where they do so. So this piece, which has white and red, can only go here. Now that needs to go there, but if you move it there, this piece comes out. So we do something very simple. We just bring this up and this comes out. So we just move this to the side, bring this back and bring this here. So that way it's in the right place as well. Let's come here. And the last piece just needs to go here. This one, it's a white, orange and green. It needs to go where white, orange and green intersect. So we can just keep it there. Using the same thing, nothing will happen to any of these pieces. Bring this up, move this to the side, bring this down and bring this back. Now if the piece is on the other side over here, you just do the mirror image of what I just showed. As usual, you just bring it in front of where it needs to go. You can't bring it there because it needs to go there, and you just bring this side up, move it this side, bring this down and bring this back. That would solve the white layer. We can tell because if we cover this, it looks solved. Okay, all these match like this. That's the end of the white layer. Now we can go on to solving the final part, which is the yellow layer. Okay, so the thing about the yellow layers, we're going to do it in 2 steps. In the first one, we're going to solve up the yellow side, which is just making it yellow. And in the second part, we're going to be rearranging the yellow pieces, because just like the white side, the pieces need to be in the right place as well. They can't just be anywhere on the yellow side. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so the first situation we have is called a fish, which is just one dot. and it's called a fish because it looks like one in the 3x3. Now if we just ignore this and this, it's just one corner over here, which is the same thing. And when it's only one corner up, it looks like a fish. That's why it's called the same in a 2x2. So yeah, so this is the situation you should try to get to first. So if you already have this situation, that's great. You could probably like skip a few minutes, like about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to show you how to get from other situations to this point. Okay, so the first thing we can get other than the fish is called the cross, in which there are no yellow corners up. It's called the cross because there's no yellow corners up over here, and it looks like a cross. So yeah, so what you can get two different types of crosses. The first one would be where you have two yellows like this on one of the sides, and there's going to be one yellow here and one yellow here. The second one is where you have two yellows here and two yellows on the opposite side. So that's what I have right now, yellow here and here like this. So either way, you just go on to the side where there's no yellow at all, and you just do this algorithm. The cube notation is going to be over here, and if you do not know how to read cube notations, I've made a video on it. The link to that is in the description. You might want to go check it out. So anyway, it's over here. Here it goes. It's right side clockwise, up clockwise, and the right side down, which is anti-clockwise. Then up anti-clockwise again, right side up, and up twice, and right side down, which is anti-clockwise. And that gets you straight to the fish. That is how it works in 3x3. Yeah. Okay, so the next situation is gonna be where two adjacent yellows are up. It would look like this in a 3x3, and two yellows are on the front like this. Yeah, so what you do in this situation, you use the same algorithm, except you go over here. Like if this is the top layer, go where there's two yellows, and make sure you don't hold it like this, because this is technically the top side opposite to white. You need to hold it with white below. Okay, hold it like this and do this algorithm, the same one, right side clockwise, up clockwise, and right side down, anti-clockwise, up clockwise, right side up twice, and bring it down. So that would get you to the fish. You do the same thing in a 3x3. That gets you to the fish. So the next situation is where you have two adjacent yellows again, but this time there's no yellows in the front. One is over here and one is over here. So when we have two in the front, we call them headlights, and when we have them in the side like this, we can call them side lights. Okay, so when it's like this, it looks like this over here. So you need to hold it in front of you like this, and you need to do the algorithm, and you can go ahead and do that. And once you do that, you get a cross like with no yellows up, and then you just can go you can just go where there's no yellow, and you can just do this algorithm again, and you'll get to a fish. You can do the same thing in a 3x3. Oh, and you'll get to a fish. So the next situation you can have is where two opposite yellows are up. So yeah, it looks like this in a 3x3. It looks like an 8. Well, it kind of looks like an 8 in a 2x2, but not very much. Okay, so in this situation, you go where you hold them, the two yellows like this, and where you can see both the other yellows. If you hold them this way, then you can't see any of these yellows. You can only see these two. So you just go over here and hold it like this, and you just go over here where there's a yellow on the left. There's a yellow on the right over here. You go where it's left, and you do the same algorithm. And that gets you to the fish. it's the same in a 3x3. Once you get a fish, which is just one dot, you just point it towards yourself and check, is there a yellow over here or here, right or left? Now if it's on the right, I'll just explain that, but if it's on the left, what you do, you just go on the right side and you do the algorithm here. With this being over here, you do the algorithm, the same one, and that gets you to another fish, but this time when you point it towards yourself, there's a yellow over here. See that? Now you can just point this here the same way as we did before, with this yellow over here and this yellow here, and we just do the same algorithm for the last time. And that solves the yellow side. Now we can just rearrange these pieces and we'll be done. Okay, so the first thing we do is we just turn the cube this way. Once we have a yellow side, we turn it this way to find two matching pieces. Now there's nothing matching here or over here. It's only matching here, right? So we can just go ahead and align it to this. Now if you don't have anything matching, I'll just come back to that in a minute. Now let's just assume we have something matching here. We do have something matching, so we just go opposite to the path which is matching, and we check. This is a yellow, orange and green, which needs to go here. This is a yellow, orange and blue, which needs to go here, right? So these two need to be switched, and we just do the algorithm for that. Now it's the same algorithm as the one in the 3x3, and it's pretty long, so as usual you might want to write it down and like just practice it a couple of times. Yeah, so the cube notation is going to be there. So here it goes. It's right side anti-clockwise, front clockwise, and right side anti-clockwise, and then back twice, and right side up, which is clockwise, front side anti-clockwise, right side down, back twice again, and right side up twice. That should solve your cube. Now sometimes you can have the situation where nothing matches, but if you notice close enough, this one does match and this one also matches. Or if you turn it this way, this one matches and this one matches. So basically this one, which is a yellow, orange and green, needs to go over here, where there's a yellow, red and blue, which needs to go here. So just these two need to be switched, and for that we just need to do this algorithm, but we need to do it twice. It would switch these two, which would align these two and solve green, and over here it would switch these two, which would solve these. So yeah, you can just go any side because it doesn't matter, and do the same algorithm. Now you might want to do this like slowly, because unlike the 3x3 there's no centers over here, so you can easily lose which side you were originally on. So just do it slowly so that you don't lose track of that. Yeah, so we've aligned these two. We just go and match them over here, go opposite to it, and do it over here to switch these two. This down, this to the side, this down. Bring this back twice, right side up twice, and we'd be done with it. Okay guys, so that's about it for today. So the 2x2 is pretty easy, but it can be tricky, especially because there's no centers. So you should probably practice around with play around with it for a bit and practice for some time. If you still have any doubts, you can post them in the comments below.